find the truth. You're the only ones who can. To be continued. Momentarily. Trial day 2. Yes, continue on to next chapter. Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. The verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant Vera Misham innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? Something inside me. Where isn't surfacing? Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close. October 9, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 3.
Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is ready to work.
Prosecutor Gavin, how's the defendant Vera Misham's condition?
Acute atroquinine poisoning. According to her physician, she could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the court. What? You can't prolong trial without her being here. You should wait for her to get better and then do it then. So bureaucratic on them. That's been a little harsh. You can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies for the defendant, but the show must go on. Hey, if Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not going to let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain, it seems. Gonna get Vera her innocent verdict, but there's still time.
Very well, your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin.
The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done.
Objection!
But Vera was poisoned with atroquinine, the exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have had access to the poison. Significant, since it's rather hard to come by.
That is true.
In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had a verdict yesterday.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone the verdict.
What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court, giving her testimony for us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her Mr. Killer was.
The prosecution's objection is sustained. I ask the defense to prove its claims to this court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned.
I've got two things to prove here. Who did it and how? Who said first?
Who?
Just who poisoned Vera Misham? I have a name for you.
Just a moment, Hertford.
You are aware this is an accusation. I think a bit of risk is in order. This much to be precise. You understand? No problem. I know I'm doing this.
Then let's hear it. Who poisoned Vera Misham? What's this? Christoph Gavin?
What's your game? My bro... There's no way he could do a thing.
You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He is behind bars.
I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did.
What?
Christoph Gavin had the opportunity to poison Vera Mission.
Apparently, the defense has something in mind. Let's see what it is. How did Christoph Gavin, currently in solitary confinement, poison her?
Take that!
What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that.
Ah. Something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all.
So the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it?
As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish.
Nail polish?
It's like paint for nails. Any women with red nails?
Ah, my wife has red nails. I see, so she's been painting them all this time.
Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court?
What is...
Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails.
Her nails! Ah!
Prosecutor Gavin, when the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails?
Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once.
Christoph Gavin didn't have to poison. Now about the day of the poison, Your Honor. The moment Vera first held that bottle in her hand, her fate was sealed.
But wait! This business about Christoph Gavin giving her that bottle is only conjecture. It's simply inconceivable.
Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all.
Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there's a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness.
Fine. Known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay. The defense's wish is granted. Let the prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand.
Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison.
Ah, Your Honor. How nice to see you again.
It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
I think I know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice, I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself.
Ah, I don't feel like somehow you're still my boss.
Stiff upper lip, Apollo, you can do it. Does this ball look familiar to you? Are you doing any nail polish? Why, yes, I used myself, as did late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet! And, was there something concerning this bottle you wished to ask me about? I admit I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste, indeed. This nail polish was how Vera Mission was poisoned. Atroquinine, was it?
You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin.
Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier? Maybe you can explain this. You're being accused again. By him again. Ah, and you agree with his accusation, do you?
Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please.
I'd be delighted.
The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant. Please testify on this matter to the court.
God, like I said, I screw up as much as Ken does. Having the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution in this case holds she poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father, too.
Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely.
Naturally. For one, I don't even know the missions. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice?
Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination.
I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss, but I know he poisoned the missions. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention why.
I know that there's... Holy shit, what the fuck was that? Here again.
Gotcha!
It was you who killed him during mission. I love worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh really? Well, you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father too, your hand tensed unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me news. And let's assume, for the sake of argument, that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was your mission fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get someone's mouth. Ah. Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Mission was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. That's not an alibi, and I don't know what is. You found a way, all the same. And I found it too.
Take that!
I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. And on this stamp, Mr. Gavin. So am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes. This stamp was found in your prison cell. That is all, Your Honor.
Order! 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 Poison on the back of that stamp!
After Drew Mission was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Mission write your letter. That's how you killed him.
What?
My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Bristol's testimony.
Well, that's basic. They put his letter name. Mr. Mission sent us searching the desk jobs.
His desk job?
Yes, the stamp, so-called postage stamp.
He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was mere coincidence that he used it.
That would seem to be the case.
Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence?
He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder.
What? Really, Clavier, you should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now. You're right, no. How could anyone have known Mr. Mission would use that stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell.
Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say.
You assume he had something to say in the first place? I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff. I'm not sure I give you that, Christoph.
Clavier.
Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with it. No. You were, Christoph.
What are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin?
Herr Forward. What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was this poison stamp killed Trubish, yeah? To which my brother responded nastily. There was no way to know when Mission would use a stamp.
Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned.
Tell me, it needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Mission died. Well, a stamp, that's all.
Coincidence?
Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. That's not bluffing, what is? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency.
But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony.
Very well, I shall take his claim head on then. Justice. What? You accuse me of Drew Mission's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter?
Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney would come to want to kill a painter.
There is something. Why did he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid there was a battle he might lose. So what does it mean? It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe have some evidence to prove a motive.
The forgery. A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement.
I'd say it's about this vital. That's pretty vital.
Well, Mr. Justice?
I'm going through with this, no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence.
And let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham?
Take that!
Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Misham's studio in the first place.
And why was that?
Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham accepts his first job creating forged evidence.
I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnific Grammy's diary.
Ah, when attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven. The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright. Who, other than him, jumped with the prospect of victory, could have done it. And why would they? Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second.
Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Misham by the client who requested that forgery.
The enclosed stamp was none other than the poisoned commemorative stamp. Drew Misham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery,
to keep them from talking?
but he made a mistake. The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Half-White, do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp, and it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Misham was none other than Phoenix Wright.
Objection!
Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh, then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. "7 years ago, just before the trial began, what's this? I know, I just got over there in the hole. You told me to give it to me. God damn it. My voice is too deep. And one more thing. I'm sorry I was sprung this on you so soon. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. You understand I'm asking the impossible? Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before? Now here's a question. Just who was Shady Enigma's previous defense attorney? No, this can't all be. But it is all. But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin.
Order! 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 What is the meaning of this? Witness. I mean, defendant. Former lawyer.
Let me begin by denying.
Objection!
It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin, and impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim?
That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry wouldn't yield.
Her forehead. Are you sure you don't have evidence? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? Looks fine.
Evidence.
Evidence that shows this man, Christophe Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago.
Clavier, just prove it. Clear up these doubts now. I swear I'm off this case.
You must have thought of some evidence. Oh. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. What darkness? I have to pull that darkness out of him. Proof is the only way I can. What proves Christophe Gavin's link to Dream Mission?
Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christophe Gavin requested a forgery of Dream Mission 7 years ago. Prove it!
It can be proven.
Simply ridiculous.
Why even discuss it? This evidence does not exist.
Objection!
Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then I say we give him the benefit of the doubt.
Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty.
Objection!
Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about this claim. Should the penalty not match his passion?
I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Not since Phoenix Wright accused me of hiding the urn under my desk.
Fine, Your Honor. All I have to do is prove any kind of link. Something that ties Christophe Gavin to Dream Mission. And I have something that clearly does the job.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between our witness and Dream Mission.
This evidence proves there's link. That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Hey, that's Sally's handwriting.
Mr. Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this?
Ah, I see now. Yes, of course.
What do you mean, of course?
I just remembered I had a visitor. Yes. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away reading my private mail.
Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell?
No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit.
Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible.
This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter.
Reproduction?
Mr. Wright visited Christophe Gavin's cell. He brought with him a small video camera.
What?
God in the fucking face. He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail. Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please.
The defense's claim is denied.
What?
Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record.
Better luck next time, Justice.
Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof.
I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him.
Very well, this ends the special witness's cross-examination.
The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years. I'm tired of the whole youthful ecstasy. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christophe?
Clavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you regret.
Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours?
Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier.
Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to prosecute Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember. What's really important to you? You amuse me, however. I couldn't forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago.
I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times.
Didn't you find anything unnatural about it?
Unnatural?
Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And next moment you're calling Drew Mission. It was almost as if... Almost as if what? Funny, it didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence.
Ah,
correct. I know that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with another diary page.
Don't do this, Clavier.
I knew because you told me, Christophe.
What?
It was the night before the trial.
Clavier.
Christophe, odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. I wouldn't be appearing in the trial, actually. Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently, but in exchange I brought information. A special witness. And then... I wondered about it at the time. How did Christophe know so much?
Prosecutor Gavin?
Christophe, we were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserve that much. Now let me borrow the victim's belongings.
You assured me all your research on the case.
The victim's belongings? You should have included Magnifi's diary, wouldn't it?
Mr. Gavin?
My, Clavier, you disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug, not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial. Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing. Apollo, I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. Well, everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before trial, I visited the detention center to request my client, Zach Gramery. To be honest, I don't know what his reason for Tuesday. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion. Daddy used to say something. You want to know, man? You have to compete. Zach wasn't watching his points on the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Christophe Gavin. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix, right? A second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse of a man. He deserved to die for that error alone. Hold it! So the one who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these two men shamed me and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Grammy both deserve what they got. So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence so you could win? But then, when you were dismissed as Zach Grammy's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep. Prosecutor Gavin, perfectly. You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled when the defendant vanished. Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What? You're afraid your fortune will be revealed and your reputation trashed. Couldn't leave things to chance, so you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. You know, he always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said, every day for 7 years. But I felt it too, just sure he is being watched, ain't it? Don't you wonder why Zach Grammy got rubbed off after 7 years, right after coming in contact with me? Wait just a minute! Zach Grammy was seen by this reporter? How is that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years? Fine. I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get so fast. Zach Grammy gone missing for 7 years. Drewsy's father. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveller. I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic. The details don't really matter right now. What matters is, that traveller was Zach Grammy. What is it, Paul? Huh? Keep going. We'll talk about it later. Did she already know? Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician Magnific Grammy's death started it. Magnific Grammy's death and his student Zach Grammy, the suspect, whoever defended Zach in court, successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew Misham? Actually, it was his daughter Vera who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep people from talking, of course. You two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning on the forgers. A drug really. Applied to a commemorative stamp. But look what's on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter! She saved him by taking the stamp, I see! But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. Now, Aria don't need nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Misham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. Ah! And nail polish. What's a good luck charm? She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. God, my voice phone changes in each scene. She really does remind me of myself. Can't really say when I was younger, because I'm 24. She's 19. There's only a 5-year difference. Was it insurance?
Insurance?
As long as she lived quietly at home and there was no danger to her. What if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. This time bomb sat there for 7 years, and then they went off almost simultaneously. If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Clavier, surely you understand. We're back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the Atraquinian that took true mission. What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Grammary. To keep him from talking. I killed no man around me. Read over the report again. The victim was a traveller by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive. Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial has been finished for 6 months now.
I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. 'Tis defendant Vera Misham who is on trial here.
No, bring you some things.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails?
What?
It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you.
What? What?
Evidence is everything. There is nothing more.
I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion.
Your Honor!
Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well.
However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes, Christophe, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now. What? Did the news not reach your desk in Saltaire? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system.
That's right.
I've totally forgotten. The juris system. Juris, you say?
The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into law.
Common citizens' wisdom? Is this some kind of a joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this?
Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers?
Common citizens have
something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by law.
Nonsense. There is only room for two in this court. Me and the law.
Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say.
They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera.
How can you allow this?
Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright?
So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right.
I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You let ignorant swine soil your courts.
Christoph, it's over. Clavier? The law is absolute. You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions.
The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge, like a gem polished to gleam through trials and errors. It's this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time. It's always changing, growing. Nurturing it is our task as human beings.
Except for you, Christoph. You aren't changing, you've stopped. You're not needed anymore. Couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday I'll know what law is. I'll try to change it if I have to.
I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father. The painter drew Misham. However, several other incidents were reviewed and we seem to reach a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurists of the court. For the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter.
October 9th, 12:48 p.m. Juris Chambers. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. The decision cannot be reached today. It may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all.
Please, wait.
Yes, jurist number 6.
There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved in the case may not be jurists.
That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved in the development of the case.
In the development of the case? I see.
Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. For 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely. Judge well.
What the fuck?
And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jury system. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show. Now when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than any ever heard before or since.
Damon Gant says otherwise.
A laugh now echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes.
Vera, I'm so glad
Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too. You did well, Apollo.
Hey now, don't you start crying too.
So you had to see us like this? Haha, she smiled.
Vera?
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. Vera. When I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. Looks like that poison has some effect after all. Killed off whoever was holding Vera back from life. Is that me? The other lawyer? Oh. I'm sure you'll be happy to hear that. Father sings for me when you came to visit. Well, yeah. At the end of the day, you were forced into the role. You didn't do it by choice. You're made an offer you can't refuse. I mean, those lack of videos. Mr. Wright finished watching them all? Huh? You did what? How? As for Kristoff going Super Saiyan, ladies and gentlemen, there you have the side effect. There you have what happens when black Cyclops are forced open. There have been 2 instances of such happening before. First, in Trial 4, when Von Karma's scream made Edgeworth remember. And second, when Emma remembered the Dark incident. You're our next memory, after all. Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? No, he can't. Glad I made your list. You said you had to meet someone. It's funny because, like I said, you look closely at Balthazar and then you go back to Chapter 3 and see Lamoire, you can pretty much tell.
Objection! Ahem!
Not loud enough, and I like Miss Magic Underwear better anyway. Yeah, I just typed inside.
So, your memory's returned.
Mr. Wright, was this all a part of your plan too?
Don't know what you're talking about.
When I lost my memory, Yep. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Lamoire. Wait, you knew my true identity, did you not?
Yep. Got it. Ah, you're thinking in it too much. Besides, there's no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy.
Of course it is a happy thing. So long I thought it was alone.
So what?
Given the fact that the accident occurred.
Nope. They don't know their mother, they don't even know their siblings. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Nah. They're very important to me too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Your bracelet. Yes? I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now, in Christoph Gavin's office.
And then I met you. Two fates destined to intertwine, and I was there when you crossed. I'll never forget. Such a small thing, yet it... And I left her blind, I'm guessing. Speaking of miracles, their mission regained consciousness this morning. I only hope she's as glad as you are. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily. As long as they've got something worth living for. And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I've still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. There's hope now. We'd lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep on this life thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Court of Steel. Here comes justice.
Objection!
But you're my sister. It's not every day you get to try and that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The governors are waking up. The news cost a run on t-shirts at supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sore and I've got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam again. Well, now that has been... You should be able to have another shot. Unless it's the whole Dark Age of Law thing. So I was standing around eating snackoos the other day. When I got this... Of course they're not. Golden normally equates to caramel. Not science. In an unlikely event you are wanting Russian, please come to Borscht Club. The only thing called in a restaurant is Borscht. But if greater challenges is being required, then come to the hideout. You know what I ask for. No, it's not. So, Kentucky Pastries is getting back to its eastern roots, spread the culture and all. Yo, boss, coach time. Oh wait, no, this is how we write root, capiche? But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo, boss, PR time. And this is how we rank people, right? Bizarre! Chinese characters on cake was a fly idea like 3,000 years ago, believe that. Man, you wanna make it today, you gotta keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker, for real. I know it don't look like no cracker. Gee, what? You want me to call it the OG muffin? I don't know where all this talk about food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food and that's noodles. Noodles forever. Got a new one too. See, this time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend I'll do these noodles about the salt? Salt forever. My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me an equivocal. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler and Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko, reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I'm the cure. That's not quite how it works. No, she's got. I don't know how to thank you for all you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it, joy. I have lost years, but I have gained a treasure, 2 treasures, actually. So she decides to continue on as Lamois. Makes sense, because Floss has been deemed dead for... Virtual here, back on the beat with another interview. How do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet on journalist condition. Makes you wonder if she ever sees Valent again. Decided to keep painting, originals only of course. But I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to paint. You keep running from your path. Farewell.